Hello, Bay Area, Houston. We are talking about real estate news going on that is important to you, and very specifically, mostly in the League City area, going on right now. Sorry, my microphone's messing with me. It doesn't want to stay in one spot. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Um, one of the one of the biggest pieces of news that's coming up right now is basically they're going to be doing the State of the City address. It's kind of not really like the presidential State of the Union address or anything like that, but Mayor Nick Long and City Manager John Baumgartner are going to basically address the city in a small group. That'll be at Friday, February 20th from 8 to 9:30 a.m. and that will be at the Civic Center. And there basically it says that following a short presentation, the two will lead a discussion about accomplishments in 2025, plans for 2026 and beyond, and answer questions from the public at the free event. Complimentary breakfast will be provided, and each attendee must have a reserved ticket. Seating is limited, so make sure you reserve your seat at leaguecity.com. Make sure you do that in advance. I'm sure seating will be tight, and I'm sure there's always some sort of fireworks that'll happen. So if you want to check out what's going on, what's going in League City, what's kind of going on in the Bay Area in general, it's going to be pretty exciting to see all the things that are coming up. The next thing is talking about the Grand Parkway expansion. They just had a meeting about this Tuesday. That was also at the Civic Center on West Walker. Basically, he's talking about how local and regional businesses are urged to join TxDOT, the League City Economic Development Department, and League City Regional Chamber of Commerce to basically talk about the Grand Parkway expansion. It's mostly going to be affecting us in segment B1. It's going to 14.2 mile tolled corridor that will run from 646 in League City to south of Farm to Market Road, 2043 in Galveston and Brazoria counties. The project will ease congestion, improve mobility, and enhance hurricane evacuation routes while stimulating local commerce and development opportunities. The construction of segment B1 will impact several League City roadways, including Hobbs Road, Calder Road, and Farm to Market Road 646. Construction is expected to last until 2031. It's supposed to start in 2027. So we've got one more year before the chaos ensues, and then we have about 4 years of chaos. So those of you that have been in the area know that this area has been growing extremely fast and lots going on. And we've kind of gotten used to construction around here, right? 45 has basically been going on since I moved down here in 2011 from the north side of town. It was basically at the Beltway at that point, Beltway 8, and going down to about Clear Lake City Boulevard. And then from Clear Lake City Boulevard up until very recently down to, I'd say, 646. And then now from here to Galveston is a hot mess too. So basically, one of the things that was talked about is that the fact that there's going to be an influx of about 200 or so workers that will be working on that, and to embrace them, have this opportunities for Airbnbs, for short-term rentals. Local restaurants should see an influx in business just from the influx of people working on the project. Exciting. It's really exciting. I actually lived on the north side of town when they were doing the Grand Parkway on that side. I've been up there recently, and it's like you can't even recognize it from what it was before. Big boost to business, restaurants, service industry type stuff. Very quick access now between Katy and the Woodlands was really what the big thing was there, and you have Cypress in between. So really neat in the fact that we're adding an extra ring to our bullseye for Houston. Those of you that are familiar with the area know that their 45 runs straight through it. I-10 goes east to west, west to east. And then we have the three rings. We've got, the inner loop with 610. We've got the Beltway. And then we have what's now going to be Grand Parkway 99 going around that. So should be easier to get around, should help ease congestion. As you know, we have 146 to basically the immediate east of us that runs along the bay. And we can't really expand that much more east because it's just water. So that's cool. That's exciting for what's going on. Other recent news: League City was named the number 4 most affordable city to buy a home in Texas. That was based off of Redfin. They basically say that the rankings were based on payment to income ratios. So that means that incomes in this area do very well in regards to the payments on homes. I do know that payments obviously have gone up significantly, just even since 2020 to now. For the most part, values have held strong, and there was quite a bit of an increase, somewhere around 25 to 30% increase in home values throughout the League City area, and have held steady within 5% of those numbers, which plays into the housing affordability stuff going on right now, where folks are complaining that it's very difficult for first-time home buyers to purchase a home, which does make sense. I do know myself and my wife were teachers when we first moved down here, and we were able to get into, it was basically a $230,000 home, and at the time it's just starter home. It's nice, it's new construction in Marbella, and that same house right now probably close to $400,000. So uh, you know good increase in value. That's the best part about League City, is you're going to maintain the value. It's a desirable place, obviously, with all the new construction and stuff going on with the roads. Things are exciting, and the fact that lots of growth still to happen. We're told that basically 40% of League City's land area is still able to be developed. You'll see a lot of that going on with Legacy. There's also another project going in just north of 527. Um, yeah, that's right. And or 528. I'm sorry, 528. I know what I'm thinking. I'm losing my mind here. But basically, big projects, big housing projects going on right now. Also, big news in the fact that popular bars in other parts of Houston, whether it's downtown, midtown, uptown, that has expanded to Katy, Tomball, other places, are also now coming here to League City. We have League City's also got a music venue that's going to rival the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion in the Woodlands. So hopefully we have some big acts coming down here for music stuff. We've got the Great Wolf Lodge just went in this past year. So exciting things going on around here in general. One of them, Kirby Ice House, is supposed to be opening up a location down here as well, Margaritaville, at the old Hilton Hotel off of NASA 1. So lots of really cool things going on. If you are interested in those types of things, I think this is a great area that you could do some investments for Airbnbs here in the near future. There's all kinds of things going on. I think property values are going to increase quite a bit because there is still a lot of room to grow, like I said. And again, super desirable part of Houston to be in. Again, number 4 in all of Texas. So that's including Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, metro areas, like San Antonio. Like, to be number 4 in the whole state of Texas is a pretty big deal. So I think that's pretty neat. That's exciting. And I will say this: so far this year, this market has been on fire. Last time I talked on live, we had a lot going on with our business. We've put quite a few houses under contract, significantly more than over the last 3 years, and even more so if you compare. Now this is going into year 8 for real estate for me, and this is significantly more action this time of year than I've ever seen. Applications are up, stuff like that. So really exciting what's going on for real estate around here. Again, I try to urge people, I try to explain and be kind of hopefully have some sort of crystal ball in the fact that this is going to be another great time to buy here in the near future. I wouldn't want to sit back and wait right now at this point, because here soon if rates do end up dropping like they are expected to come down a little bit, uh, and the fact that already there's this action going on right now. Very soon, I think the market is going to open up. We're going to have a lot more action on each individual listing. So we're going to be going back to multiple offer situations. Inventory across the nation right now, I think, is somewhere between 5 and 6 million short of what is needed. Um, Texas is better for inventory than what most places are, which is probably going to make it a destination for a lot of folks because there's availability for that kind of stuff and relatively cheap compared to national affordability. So that being said, I know a lot of people around here complain that we're not very affordable. That's just because that's what we're used to around here. We're used to housing being affordable. We're used to it being cheap. It's still very affordable. The difference is right now priorities, right? Priorities in the fact that uh, there's a lot of complaining going on, especially with Gen Z not being able to purchase a home. Uh, One of those things is a lot of Gen Z. The attitude has been that it's better to rent and have the house taken care of for you. That you don't have the problems of home ownership, and the fact that you need to maintain the home, have the skills to maintain a home. The thing is that nowadays people were not raised very often with having those types of skills where you learn basic plumbing, basic electrical, basic home maintenance stuff that you would handle around the house. A lot of that stuff's been hired out over the years. There's been a lack of trades in general. And, I just say that for the most part, a lot of, the man's man, the typical handyman is kind of rare to find these days. And I've found a lot of times I'm not very handy. I'm able to function for the most part. Uh, and I found that in a lot of cases, I'm more handy than a lot of our clients. And that's, to me, it's kind of scary. The good news is that we have some really great vendors and subcontractors and stuff that we know and trust that we are very happy to share with folks when those issues do arise. And I will say that that is one of the most important things that we do as a real estate company is vet those types of subcontractors, because I will tell you one thing that's very scary is not knowing if you can trust a subcontractor where they leave the job undone. You're sitting there on materials where, the job isn't done. It's there. You don't know what to do. You've got to hire somebody else, but you just lost money because you paid a subcontractor up front and the work wasn't completed to satisfaction, obviously. And therefore, now you're stuck with an issue. So we want to avoid that for basically everybody, and very specifically our clients. And we're going to continue to make sure that we're vetting and paying attention to who does a great job. We listen to our clients when they do use our vendors. If there is complaints, they do get taken off the list. So we do take that feedback very important. It's very, very important for us to follow through with that feedback, because otherwise, Lord knows, if a customer gets scammed multiple times, that's a serious problem. We don't want our name on that. So that being said, that's kind of what's going on in League City. If I had an audience here right now, I'd open it up for questions. Looks like we don't. So I'll just quickly talk about some things going on in real estate in general. Zillow, again, more and more is coming out in the lawsuit. Basically, they specifically were plotting to, lower or diminish other agents' listings to kind of force them to join certain brokerages, join certain teams, do certain things in order to then push to Zillow Home Loans. Again, all that part goes into that Zillow RICO lawsuit. I know it's going to be tied up in court for quite a while, and there won't probably be any sort of outcome to it right away. But if I was Zillow, I would be very scared of basically the allegations that have come out, and then the discovery that has gone on, where they've found evidence of these things actually happening. It's beyond scary in the fact that who knew that all this stuff was actually going on behind the scenes. The main thing is for the consumer is it affects fees, right? It could potentially or has potentially increased the cost of selling a home. Uh, you know, with the referral fees and all the extra stuff that Zillow charges, where agents then have to offset those fees by charging more, this, that, and whatever, and slippery slope. So we want to avoid any of those types of issues. Luckily, we have never used Zillow. I think I have a Zillow profile. It's probably super old and may not even have the right headshot on there. Uh, Probably doesn't have our production on there. So against better judgment, against what my coaches have told me to do to make sure that that's updated and that we're getting constant reviews on Zillow, I've just avoided that whole situation because we've done fine just on our own by being the local expert and doing things locally and organically. And so we don't have to pay for those online leads in order to keep our business afloat, luckily. And I thank the people of League City, our clients, for that, because what that does is that keeps us from basically working for the evil empire. So anyways, talking about that, Compass also completed their purchase of Anywhere, which is basically like Century 21, Coldwell Banker, a number of other brokerages, all under one giant umbrella. It was all done through stock. The acquisition went through, and what that does is that gives Compass the ability to kind of throw their weight around. The main thing is they're also in a fight with Zillow and the MLS, NAR in general, the National Association of Realtors, and the fact that they want to basically advertise listings outside of the multiple listing service, not publicly do them, have pocket listings, this, that, and whatever. And by now purchasing a larger chunk of the members of the National Association of Realtors, because those agents are typically part of the larger organization, what that does is that then gives them a significant amount of power, which is, I'm pretty sure, exactly what their strategy was in doing that. We'll see how that goes. I'm not a part of Compass. I'm not a part of Anywhere. So this only really just kind of affects me in a peripheral way. It doesn't really do much to the average consumer other than what could potentially happen down the road with how listings are advertised. Again, it's just more and more important to make sure that you're hiring local experts that know what they're doing, that can handle objections, that can market your house the right way to get the most eyes on it. And, just basically handle things as an expert. Like, I just don't know how else to explain it, in the fact that it's super important that you know what's going on. One of the things that we benefit from being where we farm every single Friday within League City, we're able to run into neighbors. We get to see what's going on. We know what's going on a hyper local level because we ask questions. We want to know what's important to them. We want to know, who's moving, which kind of brings me back to the whole hot list thing. If you guys know of folks that are looking to move in 2026, we are still compiling this list of potential listings that are coming soon. You don't have to list with us. I want to make that very clear. The point of this is to just make sure that we are aware of the listings that are coming up so that our buyers are able to then find listings that are better fit for what they're looking for. So if the stuff that's on the market isn't a fit for them, here's some potential things that if they're willing to wait a little bit longer, they should be coming on the market. I think it's great because we're going to be doing some matchmaking before it even goes on the market, which is awesome. And, it still has, the sellers still have the opportunity to put it on the open market and sell it. Buyers still have access to the houses that are on the market currently. And I think what it does is just gives more options. It's a better value to the average consumer because they know what's coming. And also sellers have the advantage of potentially having a buyer before it even hits the market. So I think it's a win-win all around. And I urge you, if you do know people who are looking to buy or sell this year, that you reach out, let us know what they're looking for. They reach out to us, let us know what they're looking for. Or if you're selling, what you have coming on the market and what you're looking for. And then maybe we can still play matchmaker for everybody. So again, That's the hot list. I want to mention that every single week so that this becomes a thing. I don't want this to just fade off into the sunset. I think it's super valuable for people to see that and understand how important that is. Um, there was one more thing I needed to cover, and I can't think of it right now. Super exciting, and I can't even. It's so exciting that I've forgotten about it. Anyways, events coming up. Oh, that's what it was. We are going to be doing buyer and seller seminars uh, at the end, or webinars, because we're going to do them online at the end of each month. So I believe the Tuesday of the last week of the month, we are going to be hosting, and we'll be advertising these at our open houses. You'll see this stuff. We'll start putting social media campaigns together for it. But basically, what we want to do is we want to inform buyers as to basically the current status of the market, what it looks like to purchase a home kind of in the new environment ever since, because a lot of people haven't bought a home or got into the market since they made the changes with the buyer agent compensation and how you have to sign a buyer rep agreement before even going into houses to see them, um, how you don't have to sign an agreement for long term. You can just do a house by house basis. Those types of situations are all still available. Open houses seem to be the easiest way with the least barrier of entry to get in to see houses at the start. We love that because we are an open house specialist team. We love seeing a lot of people who normally aren't looking at houses right now. They're just kind of dipping their toes in the water to see what's out there. And we get to get in front of you and see if we can find something for you that's a good match. Again, this is why that hot list plays into why be it is so important for us to get that hot list put together for the local area. So if you love a neighborhood, you don't know what is coming, you don't like what's out there right now, you maybe want to wait to see if something better is coming, or if maybe what you're looking for is very limited, we can have that discussion with you. We can talk to you. We can look for it. Um, there was actually a case this last week. Delmy, one of our newer agents, has a client that's looking for a half acre of land, and in that half acre of land wants to build a custom home. Matching that budget with reality, was very difficult, and it was a tough discussion to have with that client. And come to find out, we're able to find solutions to it. Didn't match what he's exactly looking for, but it at least opened up the doors to the possibilities of what was out there. We went and looked, just couldn't find really what he's looking for in that price point, because it's just very difficult to find a house that you can build on a half acre of land within the area within Houston, basically, and stay within a certain budget. And so if you're curious about what there is out there, reach out. I think of Property Brothers right on HGTV whenever this happens, is a budget is given. These are the things that you're looking for. And I think the very beginning of the episode, they take them to this beautiful, extravagant house that fits all the things that they're looking for. It just so happens to be about 3 times outside of their budget. And what they do is they then find something that does check all their boxes, and then they can renovate and make it happen. So there are solutions to everything. Anything can be fixed. It's just sometimes we have to get creative with those solutions, and we don't have any problem with that. That's one of the things that we take a lot of pride in, is having that work ethic that we're willing to go find whatever you're looking for. And if that can't be found, we can find a solution that will satisfy what you're looking for in the meantime, and then we can put together a game plan for what that next step will be in the future. So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys this information, talk a little bit of real estate, let you know what's going on in the area. We will be back, or I will be back next Thursday doing the exact same thing. I'll give you all the news that's happened in the last week in the Bay Area and also in the national news. so that you are up to date on what's going on in real estate. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week.